Uh, Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Please do respond if I am audible or not. Just a second. Yeah, you can now respond if I'm audible or not. Okay, awesome. We'll start the discussion in another 1 minute. Let me quickly share my screen. Yeah, hope my screen is visible, all of you. Is my display visible? Okay. Now, let us quickly start the discussion. So, notice, let me notepad. I'll just open the notepad. Agenda for today, I will note it down. Is the font clearly visible, all of you? Is the font clearly visible? Okay, okay. Now, today's agenda would be, there is a concept of data types. I'll discuss about that. Next, variable declaration. And if time permits, we would see operators, if time permits. So I will just mark it as this star. That means if possible, I will be doing it. Okay, these are the three things that I would be discussing today. So one is data types, variable declaration, and arithmetic operators. Okay, now before we dive deeper into technicalities, right? I don't want to talk about technical things first. First, let us start with whatever that basic understanding we have. Okay, what is the basic understanding? What are you trying to say? Notice, real world information. Now, you tell me, what all different types of information we have in real life? In day-to-day life, you would have seen a lot of different different kinds of information. So what is that information that what are the different types of information you have seen till date? Please tell me. Please do answer in the chat box. Please do answer in the chat box. What are the information means? Numbers and all you would have seen, right? So information, what different types of data you have seen in real life? Please do respond. Even if it is wrong, I don't mind, but proper answers, I'll tell you what exactly is the right answer for it. Whatever that you please answer. What are the different types of information we have in real life? Is the question clear at least? Is my question clear? Yes or no? Okay. Even if it is wrong, that is fine. Please tell me what are different types of information that you have seen in real life. What are the different types of information you have seen in real life? Weather. Okay. Weather in the sense, it will be like 29 degrees, 30 degrees. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. 29, 30. What type of data is it? 29, 30. What type of data is it? Numeric. Very good. Very good. It is a numeric data. Okay. So real world information, you have seen numbers. Okay. Like numbers, what all other informations you have seen? Like numbers, what all different types of information you have seen in real life? What about others? Please do respond. See, guys, you have your names, right? we have different names here: Manoj, Kirtana, and then Manu, Monica, Murli. All these names are there. Don't you think so? Names are also different types of data. So I will say words, sentences, words, sentences kind of data you have seen. Then you would have seen letters. Yes or no? Letters. You have your initials here. I've seen, Kavita, M-Y, Kirtana, V. V is an initial. Monica, V, Murali, G, Namrat, K-N. K-N is initial. Siri, P. P is an initial. In other words, letters, single letters also you would have seen. In numbers also, you would have seen, numbers without decimal places or points, numbers without decimal points, numbers with decimal points. Yes or no? Yes or no? You agree with me or not? You guys agree with me or not? Okay. Now, I'm asking you yes or no. Either you can say yes or you can say no. That is also one type of data only. So, yes or no type of data. Yes or no type. Next. Anything else? You would have seen images. Images you would have seen. Then music. Then you would have seen videos. Yes or no? Yes or no? These are the different data we have. Different data we have come across till now. Yes or no? Please do respond, guys. Am I not audible properly? Am I audible or not? Okay. So, see here, these are the real world information we have. So, we have number without decimal points, number with decimal points. So, what I will do is, 1 second, I will open another file, or, because you will understand why I want this. See here, I will create a blank file here. I'll create one blank file here. Now, here, notice, I will just insert one table, 2 columns. So, one real world data. I'll increase the font size. Just give me a minute. I'll just increase the font size. Okay. Now, this real world type of data we already have seen. See here, I will just say numbers without decimal point. Next, numbers with decimal point. Next, we have words, sentences, yes or no type of data. Next, we have letters. Next, we have images. Next, we have, after images, we have maybe audio and video. Audio and video. These are the different types of data we have come across in real life. Till here, is it clear? Is the required, whatever that I'm trying to say, is it clear till here? Okay. Now, in order to handle, see, in Java, you have to store all these types of data. You may have to, in Java, you may have to deal with numbers. You may have to deal with decimals. You may have to deal with words and sentences. You may have to also deal with yes or no type of data. You may have to deal with characters or letters. You may have to deal with images, audio, and video. All these types of data you may have to handle in Java. So for that reason, to handle real world data, Java supports, or so see here, I'll just put it as a point. Later I will allow you to copy it. Just keep on observing. When I ask you to copy, you can copy it. So I'll go back to the notes. So see here, I will just say, in order to deal with real world data, Java introduced the concept of data types. So in order to handle different types of data, Java supports different data types, which is as shown below. So see here, data types in Java. So in order to handle numbers without decimal point, Java supports something called as byte. Java supports something called as byte. Java supports something called as short. Java supports something called as int. Java supports something called as long, in order to handle normal numbers without decimal point. I'll tell you exactly, in what scenario you will be using what, with an example I will explain. Keep on observing whatever I'm trying to say. Next, numbers with decimal point. In order to handle, see, there are possibilities where we have data like this 10.331, 11.143. In real example, if I have to give the value of pi, right, 3.14132, something like that. It's a very huge number like this. Yes or no? Pi value, I hope you were able to grasp, right? Yes or no? Oh, in order to handle such real-time data, Java supports different data types. So that I'm listing it here. In order to handle decimals, Java supports one data type called as, I'll tell you what exactly each one of them will do. You don't have to worry about it. Keep on observing. Float, and then there is something called as double. I'll talk about it. Each one of them I will talk about it. Keep on observing. Next, in order to handle words and sentences. So see here, I'll tell you, Java supports two types of data types. First one is called as primitive data types. Second one, we call it as non-primitive data types. You will understand by the end of discussion, everything will be clear. Keep on observing. So whatever that I am listing here, they're all primitive apart from whatever that I mention in words. So see here, I will mark it like this. Primitive. This is also primitive. In order to handle words and sentences, we have something called as string. There is something called as string. What is this string? I will tell you. Next, there is something called as string buffer. Or, it will also come under string only. When I discuss strings, you will understand. Keep on observing. This is non-primitive. You will understand. Please observe whatever that I am trying to say. Non-primitive. Next, yes or no type of data. See, I will ask you in real time example, whenever you are filling your VTU application or whenever you are filling your examination application, there they would ask you, hey, are you male? male or female. Or if I ask you, hey, if I go and ask a boy, hey, are you male? Either he can say yes or he can say no. Same thing happen. Same thing holds good for girl also. If I ask some girl, hey, are you female? Do you belong to a female category? They will tell yes. Boys, they will tell yes. If I ask a boy, hey, are you a girl? They will tell no. In other words, yes or no type of data, in order to handle yes or no type of data, Java has given separate data type. The data type name happens to be Boolean. Boolean. Okay, sir, next one. In order to handle letters, that is, letters like this, maybe A, B, maybe T, maybe P, something like that. In order to handle such type of data, they have provided one data type called as char. It is called as char. Okay, sir. Next one. I'll come back to it. Each and everything I will explain it. In what scenarios we should be using with the program. I will explain. Keep on observing. Images. Images, audio, video. I will not be looking into it as of now. We'll discuss about this a bit later. But in order to store images, what we will be using? We will be using something called as blob. There is something called as blob. What is this blob? Will not worry about it. Only till here you concentrate. But whatever that I have written till here, is it clear, all of you? Is it clear, yes or no? It's clear, right? Okay. Okay. Now, what you have to do is, now, first and foremost thing, have you guys, used or have you maintained any notes kind of thing? Any notebook are you maintaining for Java? Are you maintaining any notes? Okay. You should not be relying on the notes that we upload. What I would suggest is you keep one 200-page notes, and then whatever that we discussed on that day itself, please note it down in your notes, so that if you write something, you will remember the things very properly. So what I would suggest is just take 2 minutes and note this down. Note this down. Note this down. Take 2 minutes of time. I will provide you 2 minutes of time, because see, if I I can say, okay, anyway, I will upload the notes. I will continue with the discussion, I will say, but you will not be, remembering it. But if you yourself write it, you yourself maintain it in one notes, then whenever you go back and revise it, it will be really helpful for you. And then you will remember the concept properly. That is the reason. Take 5 minutes of time. Maybe I'll give you 5 minutes or 4 minutes of time. So, you will not be needing much of this, So what you will do is, from here till here, you copy it first. You forget about this. This anyway, I'm handling it here. I will ask you to look into it a bit later. But just copy this. From here till here, you just write it down. I'll give you 2 minutes. Guys, is it done? Can I continue? Is it done? All of you, please do respond. See, yes or no type of data, we can use it here also. Yes or no? Awesome. Awesome. Let me, switch the other page. Now you just copy this. Copy this. Is it done, guys? Is it done? Okay, I continue now. Now, so I'll just go back to the notes. Just give me 1 minute. Now, I'll just add it to the notes. You don't worry. I'll give you the proper PDF notes as well. But whenever I'm doing something, I'll give you some time. You just have to copy it. Okay. Now, next what, sir? Next what? Notice in what scenario, what type of data we should be using. I will tell you that. So see here, I will save this first. I will save this. Maybe I will go to desktop, Java. Today is day 7. Day 7. And I will just say day 7, something like this. After this, I'll go back to my notepad. This also I will save it because it is important. So day 7. Day 7. Now, just a second. Guys, there is one disturbance. I'll just be on mute for 1 minute. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, I'm sorry for that. So notice I'll have to create another file so that one more table I will create. Why you will understand. Keep on observing. Just you'll get a clarity. Now this table I will move it here. So I will just say maybe I'll increase the font size. Maybe I will make it 20. So data type. After data type, maybe I will just say this also. I should be increasing the font size, maybe 20. So number of bytes. After this, maybe I will just say max allowed, maximum allowed. That is what I'll be doing. So now, see here, I'll just increase this. Now, what is this, sir? What are you trying to say? You'll understand. Keep on observing. I will just say there is something called as byte. There is one data type called as byte. Okay, sir. What is the use of byte? How many number of bytes it will occupy? Why is this needed? In another 1 minute, you will understand. Keep on observing. You will need 1 byte. It will occupy 1 byte of memory. 1 byte of memory it will occupy. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. What way, what is the maximum allowed, sir? Maximum allowed is, notice, I will just say it is minus 128. See here, minus 128 to plus 127. This is the maximum data that you can store in the data type called as byte. Oh, okay. Sir, prove it. Prove it, sir. Prove it. I will prove it to you. Just keep on observing. By the, first I will complete everything and later with examples, I will tell you. I'll just demonstrate it to you. Next, I continue. Byte. Short. Short is also one data type. How many bytes it will occupy, sir? It will occupy 2 bytes. What is 1 byte? I will tell you a bit later. But see here, 2 bytes of memory. Now, okay, sir, what is the maximum allowed? Maybe 32,678 to, that is minus 32,000 actually, minus 32,000, sorry, 768, it is 768 to plus 32,767. This is the maximum data that you can store in this short. How to store the data inside this, sir? What will happen in the memory? Everything I will tell you. Keep on observing. Keep on observing. This table I will create it and keep it ready. After that, later I will add this. Next, there is something called as int. It will occupy 4 bytes of memory. Okay, sir. What is the maximum and minimum and maximum allowed? See here, I'll change it. Min and maximum allowed. So it is a very huge number. I don't remember. So, I will note it down. I have written it down. I will just add it here because it's a very huge number. For your reference, I will be adding it. So 2147, see here, minus 2147, because 10-digit phone number itself, we will not be able to remember because, you might be remembering some 10 or 15 phone numbers. But if I ask you, 100 phone numbers, can you remember? No. Such a huge number it is. I don't remember. If you are good at memory, then it is good. So notice 2147, next 483, 483, and then 2147, 483, 648, 648, 2 plus 2147, 483. I'll tell you in what scenarios you should be using this. That also I will tell you. Please have some patience. 647. Next, I continue there. Long. Long is one type of data which actually occupies 8 bytes of memory. 8 bytes. Okay, sir, what is the range? This range is very huge. Just keep on observing because, this number, I don't remember it. So minus 922,337. Sorry. 9 minus 922,337. 20368, 20368, 20368, 5477, 5477, 5477, 5808, 5808. Such a huge number. Nobody can remember this. Sir, then why are you writing it? Just for your reference, I am writing it. In interview, they will not ask you this. Nobody will ask you to remember the numbers. Nobody will ask you. You don't have to worry about that. Okay. Next, 2 plus 92223372036 8547 5807. That is the range. Okay, sir, what scenario you will be using it? I will tell you. Keep on, have some patience. Have some patience, you will get an idea. Okay, I continue. Notice, after this, we have float. Float, again, it occupies 4 bytes of memory. You can store a number with 5 to 6 decimal points. 5 to 6 decimal points you can store in this particular float. Okay, sir, double you can store up to 8 bytes. It occupies 8 bytes in the memory. 8 bytes in the memory. So if you can remember this, it is sufficient. So byte means how many bytes of memory will be allocated? 1. Short means 2. Int means 4. Long means 8. Float means 4. Double means 8. This is needed. They will ask you, hey, if I declare a variable, how to declare a variable? I will tell you in another 2 minutes. If I declare a variable with type int, how many bytes of memory would it take? Answer should be 4 bytes of memory. This table is very important. The min and max allowed, it is fine. If you don't remember also, it is fine, because nobody can remember such a huge number. Of course, if you mug up, definitely you can, but nobody will ask you this. Now, this is, we can store a number with or up to 15 decimal places. 15 decimal places you can store, it seems. Next, we have something called as char. Character will take 2 bytes to store single character. To store a single character, I'll give you real-time examples. Keep on observing. Next, did I forget anything? Boolean. Boolean will take just 1 bit of memory. 1 bit. So either true or false. Sir, what is 1 bit, sir? 1 bit is 1 by 8 times of byte. In other words, I will tell you. I'll tell you what is a bit, what is a byte. I will tell you. Anything have I left? Boolean. I will not take up string, because string is a different entity altogether, because a string is not a primitive. So non-primitives I will take up a bit later. So this is also primitive. Character is also primitive. Blob is also non-primitive. Blob is an object. What is an object? I will talk about it. But whatever the data types that I was interested, I have written it here. Maybe I will move it to the other page. Now, notice, maybe I'll just change the font. Okay. So, in what scenarios we should be using this, I will tell you. So, I'll just add one more column to it. So what is that column? Maybe I will just say column. Maybe I think it is overflowing. I have to somehow bring it back. 1 second. Let me reduce the size of it. Reduce the font size. Just a second. Okay, leave it. I'll come back to that. What I will do is I will write it here. In the notepad, I will write it so that it will be easy. Now, byte. Always keep this in mind. Whenever I say byte, you have to observe I am writing everything in small letters. This is very important. Few things you will not be understanding, like you will be getting confused. Hey, why this fellow is writing everything in lower cases? Why not, why not he start like this? We should not be doing it, because in Java, this byte and this byte is totally different. That is the reason. In one day, it is not possible for you to understand everything. So whatever that I am writing, blindly you follow it. So for now, what you do is just copy this. I have added it here. So now copy this table. Take 2 minutes and copy this table. Where is this used? I will write it. I will add it. Just copy this correctly. This table properly you copy it. Later I will paste it in the notes. Proper notes I will, give it to you. But for now, just copy it correctly. So how to use these variables in Java, everything I will teach you. With programs I will write. So keep on keep on observing whatever that I am trying to tell you. Just listen to it. Whatever I ask you to copy, you just copy it. What about string? String, I will talk about it, not now. Because string is not a primitive. I am only talking about primitive data types. What is this non-primitive? I will tell you. Primitive and non-primitive. Why it is called as primitive, why that is called as non-primitive, I will tell you. When I discuss about strings or objects, you will understand. String is not a primitive data type. That is the reason I have not discussed it yet. I'll only discuss the primitive data types now. Non-primitives later I will discuss. Guys, done? Okay, I continue. Now, notice, I'll go back to this byte. So, always keep this in mind. 1 byte equal to 8 bits. 8 bits. In other words, so I will draw one diagram. Keep on noticing this. You will understand. Keep on noticing this. So I will just create one diagram. Maybe I will just say desktop Java day 7. Day 7. Now, always keep this in mind. Whenever you declare 1 byte means like this, it is combination of 8 bits. 8 bits. So whatever that you are seeing here, see here, this is 1 bit. 1 bit. I'll increase the font size. So this is 1 bit. This is 1 bit. This is 1 bit. This is another 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 bit. So bit can store, a bit can store. Nobody will ask you this. For your understanding, I am telling you. A bit can store either 1 or 0. A bit can store either 1 or 0, like this, it can store either 1 or 0. So this, if you can say, that is more than sufficient. Nobody will ask you this, but if you are from a electronics background, you will get an idea. So, or you would be having some idea. If not, leave it. But every bit consists of either 0 or 1. I'll not get into all these nitty-gritties, but this is how it is. In the memory inside this, if you store something, it will get converted to this. That is what happens. So, in other words, this entire thing is called as a byte. So, this entire thing, we call it as 1 byte. 1 byte. So, if I ask you, hey, what is 1 byte equal to? What should be the answer? What is the answer that you are going to tell? 1 byte equal to what? 1 byte equal to what? 8 bits. Very good. Very good. So always keep this in mind. I will give it as a note because this is important. So I will just say note 1 byte equal to 8 bits. So byte, whenever we say the maximum we can store is 127 and minimum we can store is minus 128. Example, in what scenarios we should be using this? Can anybody tell me in real life, what type of data, or in what scenarios we can be storing this, or we will be using numbers between minus 128 to plus 127? In what scenarios we can be using it in real time? Just guess it. Just guess. Can anybody guess? In real life, numbers between minus 127, forget about minus, 0 to 127. What type of, for what we can store the information between 0 to 127? Any idea? Just guess it. Even if it is wrong, I'm okay with it, but I want you to interact. Okay, I'll only tell you. Keep on observing. Example, age. If I ask you, hey, what is your age? What is that you are going to tell? 22, 23. My age is 28, 29. If I ask my father, his age is 65. My grandfather, 90. Yes or no? Such information, or whatever that I am trying to say, that data which falls under minus 128 to 127 only. Yes or no? In real time. Would all of you agree with me or not? Age is such a data which falls between minus 128 to 127. Yes or no? You should always, why? If you, in such cases, whenever you are declaring age in Java, you should declare it as byte. Sir, all these days in our college, we were never taught bytes, sir. All they were doing was int age equal to 20. We were doing like this, sir. What is this int age equal to 20? I will talk about it. But I was storing like this, sir. You are storing like this. But now go back to the diagram which I wrote. And now you tell me, if you use int, how many bytes of memory will be allocated to you? If you use int, how many bytes of memory will be allocated to you? How many bytes of memory? 4 bytes of memory. Do you actually need 4 bytes of memory to store 20, number 20? Actually, do you need? Don't you think so? You are wasting so much of memory. Sir, what is a very big deal, sir? We have very huge CPU with 16 GB RAM, 32 GB RAM. Even if you have 32 GB RAM, there is no rule that, if the RAM is more, you should inefficiently use the memory. No, always whenever you are writing the programs, your program should be memory efficient. If at all you feel some numbers, if it falls between minus 127 to minus 128 to plus 127, instead of declaring it as int, you can directly use byte. Is that completely clear? Is that completely clear? All of you? Okay, one more example I will tell. Next, number of semesters of your degree. If you are from engineering, the maximum number of semesters will be what? Maximum number of semesters will be what? 8 semesters. If I ask you, till now, if I had asked you, hey, number of semesters, one variable you create, what you would have done is int number of semesters equal to 8, something like that you would have done. Now, do you actually need, do you actually need 4 bytes of memory in order to store this data? Is my question. Do you actually need that? Absolutely not. In such cases, you can be using what? You should be using byte. I hope I am completely clear with this. Is that completely clear, all of you? Is that completely clear when we should be using byte data type? Okay. Now, next one. I continue. Next, short data type. The maximum we can store is, what is that I wrote? 32,000 minus 32,002 plus 32,000 is 7, and min we can store is minus 768. This is what we can do. Now tell me, example, what type of data we can store in short? What type of data we can store in short? Can anybody tell me? Can anybody tell me? Total marks. Very good. Very good. Perfect. So, total marks. Correct. Anything else? No, because your engineering total marks would be for 1,500 or something like that. 1,500, if at all you want to store, you cannot be going with byte, so you can go with short. Anything else? Total marks. Total marks. Then I will say something like this. See here. Number of colleges which comes under VTU. Yes or no? Under VTU, there are some, 300, 400 or around 500 colleges. That data, we can use short for it. Next, anything else? See here, fresher level salary. Fresher level salary in mid-range company. Mid-range company. See, if you join as a fresher in a mid-range company, a small company, they would, for a fresher, they would pay around 22,000, 23,000, maybe 24,000, maybe 30,000 also they can pay. But, if you join a very big company like Amazon, Microsoft and all, they will get more than this. I totally agree with that. But 90% of the students, 90% of them will definitely, as a fresher, if they join, they will pay you 20,000, 25,000, they'll be paying. So such salary, you cannot be using byte. If you use byte, and then if you get to 127 rupees or 128, 125 rupees, it is not a salary at all. No, others are, 124, 125 is not a salary at all. So you should not be using byte. You should be using what? You should be using short. Did you understand in a real time, what is that data type can be used for? You understood this or not, all of you? Please do respond, guys. Understood, right? All of you? Okay, I continue. Next. Int. Everything in small letters. You have to be very careful. Int. Now, int. the maximum we can store is, I will copy from here. The maximum that we can store. This is the range, or, is this. And minimum we can store is this. Okay. Example, real-time example. Can anybody tell me, some CEO salary in some MNC. He will earn more than this, right? So, in Google, maybe I will just say Google. So Google CEO will get it in this. Oh, very good. CET ranking. Very good. I agree with that. CET ranking. Yeah, CET ranking. Very good. Population. Population also we can add it here. Anything else under int? Anything else you can imagine? You can tell me. Otherwise, I hope you are understanding, in what scenario what we should be using. So, property value. Property value in USA, something like that. USA, Dubai, etc. We can, it's very costly there. So it cannot be under this. It cannot be 30,000 and all. All the property value should be in lakhs or crores. So that, you should be using integer for this. I hope I am completely clear with this. Okay, sir. Next one. Next, it is long. The maximum we can store is, maybe I will just blindly copy this. The maximum we can store is, and minimum we can store is this. So in what scenario you can be using this? Phone numbers. Phone numbers you can use, correct. Phone numbers, correct. Phone numbers, perfect. Budget, very good. Country's budget. Country's budget, absolutely, very good. Country's budget or state budget. State or country's budget, very good. Anything else? Anything else? Distance between sun and or earth and moon, don't you think so? It cannot be 127 kilometers. It cannot be 30,000 kilometers, but they are all in light years, because from earth to Pluto, if I want to go, don't you think so? The distance is in light years. It is very huge number. Yes or no? Yes or no? Speed of light, very good. So I can say distance between two planets. Very good. Order ID in online platform. Very good. Order ID in e-commerce platform. Very good. Very good. So I hope you now got a clear picture in real time what type of data type we should be using. Yes or no? By this 40 minutes discussion, I hope you are getting an idea. All of you, you are getting an idea. Yes, awesome. Next, we have something called as float. Float, we can store a number with 5 decimal places. 5 decimal places. Example, can anybody tell me 5 decimal places? Up to 5. Up to 5 decimal places. Would all of you agree? Percentage. Engineering percentage. Example, it will be 65.43%, maybe 76.56%. Yes or no? Yes or no? It will not go more than beyond 5 decimal places. There is no point. You should be showing at least 2 decimal places. In such scenarios, you can be using float. Got it or not? Got it? Guys, got it or not? Double data type. So we can store a number up to 15 decimal places. 15 decimal places. Example. Can anybody tell me any example for this? Can anybody tell me the exact example for this? Guess, can you guess? Mathematical problems. Okay, good. I will tell one example. Just now, in the beginning of the class, I took up one example, right? The value of pi. Pi value 3.143212, something like that. See here, I'll just show you the value of pi. See here. Don't you think so? It is more than 5 decimal places, all of you. It is more than 5 decimal places, yes or no? Yes or no? You are getting my point or not? Okay, next. One more example I will take. Time taken by satellite. Time taken by a satellite to revolve around a planet. It cannot be 10 minutes or something like that. It can be like this. It should be like something like this. Yes or no? Yes or no? That data will be similar, very complex like this. Now, for a satellite to revolve around a planet, revolve around a moon and all, it cannot be, like this. It cannot be 65. It cannot be direct numbers. It will be having decimal places. So in such scenario, you should be using what type of data type? Double type of data type. Yes or no? You understood this or not? Till here, is it completely clear or not? Okay. So is it now? Please tell me, am I going too fast or is it boring? Or is it boring or are you interested? Is it getting boring? You people getting bored? Okay, it's going. Okay, I continue. What are the different other data types we have? Oh, float is done, double is done. Char and Boolean. Notice char type of data type. We can store any character or ASCII values. What is this ASCII values? Have you heard of this ASCII values? Anybody? Have you heard of this ASCII values? If not, it is absolutely fine. If yes, okay. Okay. What are ASCII values, sir? Those who don't know. Notice. I will just say ASCII values. So I will show you the table. The ASCII table would look like this. So see here. For every character, for A, B, C, D, for every character, one number they have given, one number they have given. That itself is called as an ASCII. So for matching every character on the keyboard, whatever that you have on the keyboard, for everything one number they have given. For this exclamatory mark, the one number is there. For small a, there is one number. For a capital A, there is some other number. Whatever that you are seeing, this is called as an ASCII table. Or in other words, we can store any character or ASCII values. Example, initials of your name can be, characters, right? It can be characters, yes or no, all of you. Just now we saw, Murli G, Harshita V, and then Kirtana V, Manoj G. You have, all of you have one initial. If somebody asks you in real time in interview, they can ask you, hey, I have this type of data. In what type of data type you will be storing that data? You should tell, it is a character. Character should be stored using one data type called as char. I hope I am completely clear with this. Any other examples you can think of? Any other examples can you think of? Any other examples? Very simple, right? In your marks card, grade. Very good. Very good. Grade in marks card. Grade in marks card can be a character A, B, C. All these are one characters. So whenever you have characters like that, you should be storing it inside one data type called as char. Oh, okay, sir. The last one, Boolean. Boolean. Yes or no type of data. Example. Any example for Boolean? I will ask you one question. I'll ask you one question. Are you alive? What should be the answer? Yes or no? Correct. Correct, right? Are you alive? Either you can say yes or you can say no. You cannot be in the middle, right? Oh, maybe I am alive. Something like that you cannot tell. Are you alive if I ask you? The answer is yes. So the answer is true. Now again, one more question. Is maybe I will just say, is it rainy season in India? The answer should be yes or no. Currently, it is false. It is no. The answer should be false. You understood, right? Different types of data. What are the different data types that we should be using in what scenarios? You are getting an idea, right? All of you. You got a clear picture. Okay. Now copy this. Take 2 minutes of time. Just copy this because this is important. If you copy it, you will get a clarity. So when I am writing something, you don't copy, just observe whatever I'm trying to say. I'll give you time, right? We will not, hurry everything. There is no need, right? Properly we should learn whenever we are learning something. Properly, I will teach you. Just keep on, noting it down when I ask you to write. Please copy it. When I am teaching something, don't copy it. Just write it down. Now write it. So do let me know if I have to scroll. If I want to, like, if you're done with it, do let me know so that I can scroll it. You can copy the other rest of the things. Okay, we can copy easily while you are typing. No need of this much time for copying. Okay, fine. As you say, I can continue. Like, see, whenever I'm teaching something, whenever I'm doing something, you need not. If you write it down, then it will be a problem. Like in understanding, that is what I feel. So if you don't want this approach, then I will not give time only for copying. So I'll just continue with the concepts, whatever that you say, whichever is okay for you. I'll take the same approach. Is it okay if I give you the time, or I'll directly do the concepts and without any breaks in the middle? You decide. You tell me what is right for you. Whatever you say, I'll follow the same approach. I don't mind. Guys, do you want time for copying, or you give little time? Okay. Need time to copy. Okay. Can I continue, guys? Can I continue? Then all of you? Okay. Awesome. I'll continue with the discussion. Now, next one, variables and variable declaration. You'll understand why is it, because see, variable declaration, that is what I'm doing now. Next. Now, first and foremost thing, what is a variable? Can anybody tell me what is a variable? What is, I don't want a technical answer. Whatever that you know about a variable, you tell me. What is a variable? What is a variable? Naming a constant. Okay. Anything else? Storing data. Okay. Okay. Anything else? Okay. See, whenever somebody says variable is for storing the data, that is not correct. Variable cannot store the data. Okay, sir, what are you trying to say? Then what exactly is a variable, sir? What is a variable? I will tell you. Keep on observing. So see here, variable. Always keep this in mind. This is how your memory would look like. So see here, this is how your memory would look like. Just keep on observing. Don't write it down. I'll tell you, there is some thing I need to discuss. Please keep on observing. Now, like this, the memory would look like this. The complete memory. That means your RAM would look something like this. Inside RAM, the memory locations would be like this. Just an assumption. Oh, for you to understand it properly, I am doing this. Now, assume you want to store some data. You want to store some data. If at all you want to store some data, so you have to store it inside the RAM. Okay, sir. What are you trying to say? What am I now trying to say? You'll understand. Keep on observing. So this is how your RAM would look like. This is how the RAM would look like. So I will mark it as memory or RAM. So I'll increase the font size. So memory or RAM would be like this. Now, it will be having so many blocks like this. So many, millions, billions of blocks will be there. Whenever you store the data, what happens is the data will now go and sit inside a memory location. So 10, assume you stored one data called as 10. 10 will now go and sit in one memory location. It will go and sit in one memory location. Now, in this numerous or a huge memory location, how can you identify whatever the data that you stored? For that reason, what you will do is, you will now say, look, I will name the memory location as number. I will name the memory location as num, and in that num, I will be storing 10 as the data. I'll be storing 10. In other words, variable means it is the name of the memory location. You should never tell variable stores the data. Variable, it gives you the location where the data is present. Did you understand? Yes or no, all of you? What is a variable? You understood this? So variable means, I'll put it here. Variable means it's the name of the memory location where the data is stored. So notice, if I now want to store something like Sachin, some data like Sachin, everything has to be stored inside the memory or RAM. Sachin should be stored or will be stored in some memory location. And then in order to retrieve this back, we need to create one variable called name. I'll give one name to the memory location. That memory location, if I access, I will get Sachin. I hope I am completely clear with this. You understood what exactly is a variable, all of you? Is there any confusion? So from today, if somebody asks you, hey, what is a variable? The answer that you should be telling is, variable means it is the name of a memory location where data is stored. That is the answer that you should be telling. Is that clear, all of you? Awesome. Now, notice, maybe I will delete this. This is sufficient for me. It sounds similar to pointers. Am I wrong? It is not pointers, actually. The way it is conveyed to you is wrong. Because, in colleges and all, whenever they talk, whenever they say variable, hey, data is stored inside the variable, that is what they will tell. That is absolutely wrong. Data is not stored inside the variable. Nothing can be stored inside the variable. Everything can be stored inside the memory. So it is just a name of the memory location that is a variable. Don't get confused. So in colleges, the way they would have conveyed is because many of them would be conveying it that way. So now notice I will continue. Now, how to declare a variable in Java? How to declare a variable in Java? I will just say syntax. Below is the syntax for declaring the variables in Java. Below is the syntax for declaring the variables in Java. Syntax, I will just say data type and variable name. So this is the syntax. Okay, sir, can you give us an example? Syntax is like this. Example, data type. It can be byte, it can be int, it can be short, it can be char, it can be boolean. I hope you are clear with the data type part, all of you. Data type, when I say data type, what are the different data types that we have in Java? You are in a situation to tell byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, character. Yes or no? You will be able to tell what exactly each one of them by this time. Yes or no, guys? Awesome. Now, so data type, why I have used this angular braces is for defining the syntax. So you just substitute the data type there. That is what the meaning. So I will just say int variable name happens to be number. This is how you declare a variable. You understood how to declare a variable in Java? You declare a variable in Java. How to declare a variable in Java? Okay. Now, second example. See here, character initial. Then boolean is raining. I'll come back to this. The naming conventions, how to declare the variable name. What is the name that you should be giving for a variable? Everything I'll talk about it. But this is how you declare a variable. So it should be the first word should denote a data type. Would all of you agree? Int is a data type, char is a data type, boolean is also a data type. Yes or no? So notice, so float, radius, float, rate of interest, something like that. Next, whatever the first word that you see, it is the data type. Whatever after the space, whatever that you are seeing, it is the name of the variable. I hope I am completely clear up until this point. Till here, is it completely clear? Okay. Now, next, assigning values to variable. You'll understand, keep on observing. This is important. Now, assume I have one data 10. This data 10 is there. I want to store it, or I want to store it inside the memory and give it a name. How to do it, sir? How to do it? So see here, in order to assign value to a variable, we must use operator. It's also called as assignment operator. Now, always keep this in mind. In order to assign a value to a variable, we should use equals sign. Oh, all these days, I have seen all these days, I know if you see something like this, You will say, hey, int a equal to 10. That is not the way you should read it. Int a equal to 10. That is not the way you should read it. It does not make any sense. Okay, sir. How to read it? I will tell you. Keep on observing. Syntax for assigning value to a variable. Syntax for assigning a value to a variable. See here, you will have data type. You will have data type. After that, one space, variable name. After that, this space is not mandatory. You can, for your better readability, I have done it. Space value. This is how you have to do it. Oh, how to read it, sir? I will tell you. Keep on observing. Example. See here, int num equal to 10. Sir, whatever that you told, you should not be reading like that. Why are you reading it that way? See, always keep this in mind. Whenever you have single equal to operator, it is also called as assignment operator. Is that completely clear, all of you? It is also called as assignment operator. Is that clear or not? Clear or not? Okay. Now, whenever you have equal to, always you have to start from RHS and go back to LHS. Oh, how to do it, sir? Note, I will give it. Whenever we have equal to, that is assignment operator, we should always complete RHS first and later move to LHS, left hand side. So notice how to read it. I will tell you. 10 is a value. I have to store it in the memory, and name it as num. That is how you have to read it. Or in other words, see here, 10. I want to store it in the memory. And after storing 10 in the memory, I want to give one name to it. Name happens to be num. That is how you have to read it. Second one, see here. Boolean is raining equal to false. So this is how you have to read it. See here, false is a data. I want to store it in the memory. So what happens is this false will go and sit in the memory. Like this, it will go and sit in the memory. False will go and sit in the memory. In order to access that data, I am assigning one name to it. I am assigning one name to it. That name happens to be, is raining. That name happens to be is raining. That name happens to be is raining. So false is the data stored in the memory. The name associated to this data happens to be is raining. Did you understand now, all of you, how to read this? Whenever you assign a variable, what actually happens, you should always go from RHS. Once RHS is completed, then go to LHS. How will you come to know RHS is complete, sir? RHS is complete if at all you have to know. If there is a semicolon, that means that is end of the line. So whenever you have a semicolon, see here again, note. Whenever we encounter semicolon, then that means it's end of the line. I hope I am completely clear with this. So you understood how to assign a value to a variable, all of you? Assignment is it completely clear? So see here, always you have to go like this. See here, 3.56. I want to store it in one variable, which is called as radius. The data type of radius happens to be float. That is how you have to do it. In colleges and all, directly they will write it. See here, they will just say, int num1 equal to 10. That is how they read it. Int num1 equal to 10. That does not make sense at all. Always we have to go from RHS to LHS. 10 is a number, I will store it in a memory. In order to access 10, I will create one name for it. The name happens to be num. Is that clear, all of you? Is it clear, all of you? You understood whatever that I discussed? Awesome. Now, notice. I'll go back. This arithmetic operators, I don't think I'll be able to do it today. So I will just revise it and then I will stop it. So whenever we have real world information, we know what are the different real world information. In order to real world data, Java introduced the concept of data types. What are the different data types that we have? We already know. There are two different types, primitive data type, non-primitive data type. I have not spoken anything about non-primitive. When time comes, I will talk about it. Under primitive, we have so many data types. See here, I will go back to that. See here, in order to handle numbers without decimal point, we can use byte, short, int and long, float and double for decimals. For handling words, we will be using string, but they are non-primitive. I will talk about it. Now, yes or no type of data, Boolean. This is, small letters, character. Next, this is blob. So if I say byte, 1 byte of memory will be occupied, short 2 bytes of memory, int 4 bytes, long 8 bytes, float 4 bytes. The ranges also I have given it. After that, we understood, how to declare the variable. What exactly is a variable. Later, we understood what exactly is a variable. Variable is nothing. It is not the memory location. Rather, it is the name of the memory location. I hope I am completely clear with it. Now, how to declare a variable? In order to declare a variable, data type and variable name is that syntax. Example I have done. Assignment, assigning a value to a variable also is done. If at all, whenever you encounter a single equal to sign, that means it is an assignment operator. Is that completely clear, all of you? Is that clear, all of you? Guys, whatever I discussed today, is it completely clear? If I go in the same pace, is that fine, all of you? Should I increase the speed or decrease the speed? You have any this one? I should increase the speed. Okay, I'll increase the speed. Gradually I will increase the speed because you have to, get set to my way of teaching, right? So guys, access the chat box. Access the chat box. I have sent you one link for attendance. Please fill it. Without fail, please fill it. I hope you received the message. Yes or no, all of you? Okay, please fill in the assignment. Sorry, attendance. So anything else you have, or if nothing is there, then we can halt the discussion for today, because I don't want to, stress you guys. So we will go slowly. As the days progress, I will increase the speed because the level of understanding you would have got it. And then, if I increase the pace also, you will be able to grasp it, because that is how I do it. Pace in the sense, I will not run off with the concepts. Definitely in a slow manner only I will teach. But definitely you will understand all the concepts that I teach. That is how it is. From today, not only from today, from day one till the last day, maybe 200th class or something like that. I am not sure about it. All the classes, whatever that I teach, definitely will. Each and every concept, I make sure you'll understand this. Okay. You have any doubts, you can stay back. Otherwise, we can halt the discussion. Thank you all. Have a good day. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. I'll be here. If you don't have anything, then we can continue. We'll again meet tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Okay. Thank you very much. Have a good day.